Should you invest in technology or corporate culture? Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Future in 5. My name is Jacob Morgan, and this is where I share my thoughts, ideas, and commentary on the future of work in 5 minutes or less. I'm coming to you from Buenos Aires in Argentina. It's a little cold, a little rainy, a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning, but I managed to find some shade under a tree. Thought I would do a video while the rain subsides here. So I am in Latin America speaking at a few events, and I just came back from Santiago in Chile, where I spoke to 800 or around 1,000 HR practitioners and leaders from all sorts of companies in the Latin America and South America region. And after my talk, somebody raised their hand from the audience and asked me a question, and he said, our organization is trying to drive change, and we're trying to figure out, do we invest in the technology piece first, or do we invest in the behavior change and the corporate culture piece first? I think this is a topic I have written about in the past, but I've never done a video on it, and I'll share with you what I told him, and that is you have to do both. If you pick the corporate culture and behavior piece first, it becomes very hard to do that without investing in technology, and that's simple because a lot of employees just can't visualize what kind of behavior you want to create and what type of culture you want to create if they don't see and visualize and conceptualize and actually use the tools that are needed to change that corporate culture. Collaboration is a great example. Let's say that your organization is trying to become more collaborative and you're focusing on the behavior change aspect and the corporate culture aspect, but your employees don't have access to the tools required to become more collaborative. In other words, they don't have internal social networks, they don't have video and web conferencing solutions. So regardless of how hard you're going to try to change the behavior there, if the employees don't have those tools needed, it's going to be very hard for them to understand how they can scale collaboration, how they can collaborate across the world to many, many thousands or hundreds of their employees and peers. It just isn't going to make sense. The flip side of that is if you invest in just the technology component. So let's say you give employees all these tools that they need. They have web conferencing, video conferencing, they have the internal social networks, they got everything they need. But if you don't focus on investing in driving the corporate culture and behavior change, then a lot of employees just aren't going to use the tools because it's not going to make sense for them. Why should they be using it? So you can see that you can't just pick one or the other. You have to invest in both. So you have to have the right technologies there to enable employees to do their jobs and to drive corporate culture and behavior change. And you also have to invest in the corporate culture itself, in programs that you are trying to use to change behavior. And all the successful companies out there that I've seen that are thinking about the future of work do both of these things quite well. They don't just pick one or the other. It's not a question of the left arm or the right arm. You got to have both. You have to have both of these things going in place in order to, I think, future-proof your organization and to become successful. Curious to hear what you think? Leave a comment below. If you want to get access to more episodes of these videos, you can visit thefutureorganization.com. If you want to sponsor a month of content that reaches many, many tens of thousands of people that are interested in the future of work, and that includes podcasts, videos, newsletters, social, and a couple of other things, you can email me, jacob@thefutureorganization.com. And of course, we can always connect on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @JacobM. So again, curious to hear what you think. Would you invest in behavior? Would you invest in technology? Or do you think it makes sense to do both, which is clearly what I think. So that's it for me from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Looks like the rain is subsiding, so I'm going to go back to exploring the city, and I will see you next time on an episode of The Future in 5. Hey, are you interested in the future of work? If so, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the latest content on the future of work and stay up to date on all the latest trends and happenings. Not to mention, you will make me very, very happy. Make sure to subscribe.